And I'm back. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Watch on My Reviews. This is your boy James, where I'm here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. It's not going to happen this video, but that's all right. We'll live to fight another day. Joining me as always is my co-host, Mrs. Beth. Y'all say what's up to it.
Hello, thank you for having me. Like, share, subscribe. Don't be afraid. We don't bite.
Yes, please like, comment, and subscribe to both channels. Please subscribe to Mrs. Best's channel. Any reviews or recaps I don't cover on my channel, it's because we're on her channel. We have Basketball Wives, we have Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, we have The Valley, we have also Real Housewives of Miami. Those are all done on her channel. So if you guys like those shows and want to get our opinions, you'll subscribe to her channel to make sure you never miss it. And while you're subscribing to us, please subscribe to Shana underscore MCD's channel. She also covers Real Housewives of Atlanta. She just did her video. It was very entertaining, and I'm happy that she did it. I didn't get to watch it all because I didn't want to kind of fumble my opinion of how I saw this last part. But y'all make sure y'all check out Shana's videos as well. Shout out to Shani for always being here first. We appreciate you. Let's see. The last part was so boring. I was listening, but I had to ask myself, was I really paying all that much attention? I was. So you weren't the only one.
I wrote a paper while watching it.
Yeah, we were kind of. I was
I
like,
was bored as hell.
honestly, just like this. I'm like, this shit was way too boring for me. I'm sorry. No, they can have all that. They can have all of that because this was not worth having. So I'm gonna go over this real quick. I'm not gonna talk about everything just because I'm on a time crunch. I still got to get to work, and I got a whole bunch to do. Yeah, she did do her live. Make sure you go watch her recap, and make sure we comment on her video. Like, comment, and subscribe to Shana's channel as well because we're trying to get her remonetized. So let's make sure we do that for Shana. So the episode of Reunion Part 3 opened up where it left off with Shamia and Portia's, going back at it with each other. And from what we understand about how, this beef grew, because she said that her and Shamia, after that lunch they had, they let it be. Then Shamia did interviews after filming, which, caused them to get back into this place of not speaking, where, she was mentioning her mother in the interviews and everything. And I think she's talking about when that episode aired about when her mom said the dog that carries the bone, when she was talking about Shamia, and Shamia kind of had a little something to say. All Shamia really said was that was unfortunate that she said that. She's only had respect for her mom and everything. And then Portia did this post saying, hey, don't talk about my mama. It was a lot going on. It just really was. So, Shamia asked Portia, what was the egregious thing my mother did? And Portia said, you know what your mother did. So Andy wants an explanation. So, hey, Naya, thank you for being here, my love. We appreciate you. She said the egregious thing is that when her mother had her daycare and the place got foreclosed, Shamia's mom bought the place and never told Miss Diane that she bought it. And the only way they found out about it was they were driving past it and they showed the sign being put up from Shamia's mom. And I was like, that was egregious? Okay. Yeah. What I miss?
Not the helmet of salvation. I cannot. Okay,
I'm not doing this with y'all tonight.
I'm sorry. That's my fault. I shouldn't have smoked weed during the live. I'm not doing it no more.
Yeah,
I,
please don't. Not a helmet of salvation. Please put the YouTuber that put that up there because I swore I need to watch that. That is hilarious. I'm sorry, that took me out. I'm about to fall out of this chair. Like, y'all.
Hi, Naya. I cannot. I love Shani. Thank you for that.
Anyway, so Mrs. Best, I have to ask you, what Shamia's mom did, was that egregious?
Okay, here's the thing. If you have no other context, it was shady. Here's the thing. People purchase things from foreclosure lists. They're public all the time, discounted. People do it all the time, flip houses that way, all of that. Fine. But if you know that that was your friend's business, I feel like the right thing to do would have been to give Miss Diane a heads up. And y'all know I cannot stand Miss Diane. But I do feel like the right thing for Shamia's mom to do would be to give her a heads up. I know some people would say it's just business, and I've seen other people that were like, Miss Diane should have paid her bills, which, yes, it's true. But if you have a friend, it's like, she did it behind her back. She didn't even offer her a job or a steak or nothing. And if they really were friends, fine. Because I know Shamia's argument to that was that is not the only thing that happened in the relationship between the moms, but that's a pretty big thing, Shamia. That's a pretty big thing. And y'all, listen, some people may be the children of people who are awful, but they may be good to their kids. I mean, look at Evelyn Lozada. I'm just saying.
No, and I agree. It's definitely messed up. Like I feel like for me, I would have appreciated her picking up the phone and calling Miss Diane as well. Like it's kind of like if that was your friend, and yeah, like why wouldn't you like if you knew she was fumbling, with getting in foreclosure and you were trying to open up the same business, like why not offer to partner with her if that's the case? Or why not offer to
I think that's why Shamia said that there's more to the story, which I'm sure that there is. Either way, fighting fire with fire never does any good. And I wish that they would stay out their mom's business. But I think that the moms are probably the reason that the dynamic in the friendship is the way that it is.
yeah, but to me,
Cause she can't name one thing that Shamia's done to her.
yeah, because that's what I'm getting at. Because I'm trying to be like, what did Shamia do to you? Particularly, like I get what we're saying about the mama thing because that is messed up. But at the same time, it was a response from what your mother originally said about her. If I'm remembering the season correctly. If I'm remembering the season correctly, wasn't Shamir responding to what Miss Diane said about um, her kid being the you have to watch the dog that carried a bone? It was that comment, right? Or did something else happen that I missed? Y'all put in the
That was
comments.
why Portia's manipulative and tries to make it look another way. I think Shamia is also manipulative, but they are they mama's kids.
Yeah,
That's
very
what I
true.
saw.
Very true.
Stupid.
It was stupid. Like to me, I kind of felt like if y'all were able to have a friendship after the fact of that, then that's such a small thing that realistically we could be beefing about. And as I said, if I was Shamia, Shamia took a lot of L's this part of the reunion. And if I was Shamia, I would have brought up the fact that, well, why would your mama say that you need to watch the person that carries the bone? Because all of y'all are messy.
She, for some reason, they're both holding on to, I think, keeping some type of peace in the friendship, probably because they run in a lot of the similar social circles. But I don't know. I'm not invested in this. I think the best point Shamia made the entire reunion was Portia's trying to make it seem like Shamia's attacking her and all of this through the reunion. And Shamia, she has a point that she's not attacking Portia at all, because if you are being called somebody's lapdog, then how are they attacking you if they're always doing what you want? So
I agree.
Portia needs to accept that she made herself look bad. Shamia needs to accept that the friendship ain't gonna be the same. I wish he stopped kissing people's ass. Like, this whole reunion just proved that they should have taken their time on casting and just waited.
That's saying watch the person who carries on. Is she saying watch the person who's bringing you all the business and telling you everything? Pretty much. Down top
Mhm.
of like she's putting a battery or a bone in Portia's ear, just the same way she's accusing Shamia of watching her because she could be easily talking about you. And that's something else that they brought up too. about how her and Shamia are in the same friendship circles. And when her text messages were shared with Britt, it was also brought to the other friends in their personal friend group. And what she was saying was is that the friends that the Shamia did feel away when Shamia got her peach and Portia wasn't there to congratulate her. Pretty much that's had been going around all of the circles that Shamia wasn't happy about all of that. Shamia says she did feel away, but she didn't make it a big deal. And I do think that when it comes to the housewife circle, I do think that they took that on top of their past and kind of made it a point. I do think that Angela and maybe Drew a little bit did kind of put that into a kind of a perspective and brought it to Portia back and brought it to Portia in a way that it made it seem like Shamia was. I don't think Shamia was really talking about Portia. I just think she was venting about the disappointments because Portia did play in Shamia's face a couple times this season. We're not going to act like she didn't. The first thing that I could recall off the top of my head was the song shit, which I don't know why they didn't bring that up.
Showing up late to her birthday party. Portia's been competing with the spotlight with Shamia, I think, for some time, even prior
Mm-hmm.
to being on this show. Um, these women are not interesting enough to be on the show anymore. Like, aside from that, Shamia's husband's in hiding and Portia just lies, so there's no point in her being here.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying because for me, I feel like as again, Shamia just didn't pull out the right points because Shamia easily could have turned this around on Portia because Portia, as much as you want to act like you were there for Shamia and you were, championing her, and as much as you want to tell Andy and have Andy back you up talking about did not want Shamia to be a housewife full time and everything like that, you can very much want that for her. But two things can be true: you can want that for her, but you still played in her face. We're not going to act like you didn't. We're not going to act like you were sitting up there and championing her, but at the same time, trying to make sure she stood beneath you because that's exactly what happened this season. So yeah, let's see what y'all say
Portia's
next season.
not been a good friend to anyone. She has a history of being disloyal on this show. She has a history of not being good to Shamia, which she won't acknowledge. She has a history of lying. I really think she's just taking this issue and using it as a way to make herself look like a victim. But then at
Mm-hmm.
the same time, I also feel like Shamia, that's why I say birds of a feather flock together, because she's also doing the same thing as Portia, but in different ways. I'm sick of it. They both want to look like victims and neither of them are accountable, is the
Mm-hmm.
problem. Because Shamia has, like, I'm gonna just keep it a bug. Me and James are friends in real life. Put us in any setting. I'm not gonna go, like, if I have something that he does that annoys me, I would talk to my husband before I talk to any friend. If you
Right.
care about people, you shouldn't just be talking about them to anyone that's mutual or anyone that can get back to that person. You should want to, like, protect your friendship a little bit. So Shamia should have known better than to speak about her friendship with a bunch of newbies to the housewives that were clearly fans. Because Angela watched, we know that Britt watched, and we know that Kelly watched.
Mm-hmm.
So they both messed up. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Tamia did that weird ass apology on the internet, so I'm just really not feeling her no more.
I didn't like that. I did not like that. I did not like that at all because to me, I kind of feel like, so are you admitting that what they said was correct and what you did? Because we didn't see it that way from the beginning, but is it really what people are saying? Or are you apologizing because you want sympathy from the, I don't know. It just pissed me off because it's like, what are you apologizing for? I get Portia has been your longtime best friend of 30 years, but fuck Portia. Because at the end of the day, you didn't do to me, and I'm gonna be real with y'all. I know a lot of people are gonna disagree with me. Shamia didn't do anything to Portia. Not to me at least.
I agree. I do agree with
So
that.
I'm trying to figure out what are you apologizing for? Because to me, Portia was acting stank from the beginning. It was when you called her out. Let me tell you when Portia started acting stank. When you put up out when she put up on your Rolls Royce and you were trying to have your moment, and she came in late, and when you went upstairs to go change your clothes and stuff, Portia started acting funny then. So I kind of feel like, to me, you were trying to always try to make sure you were always on the good foot. You spent the whole season trying to make sure you were always on the good foot with Portia, when it shouldn't even have to be like that to begin with. She should know to come to your birthday on time. She should know your fucking singing voice if she's known you for 30 years. So the hell with Portia. That's what I'm saying. I don't know why she apologized. That shit pissed me off. See, the thing is, when you got a man, only two of these chicks on the cast have a man that they can talk to.
I almost choked on my food. Wait.
Sometimes it's okay for people to grow apart and no longer be friends. Absolutely, it happens every day. We have to understand, as life, we're constantly, at least you're supposed to be. You're constantly supposed to be evolving and changing ways. Me and my boyfriend just had this conversation. Like, we're supposed to be evolving and changing and making sure that we constantly are being the best version of ourselves possible. And sometimes what happens when we do that is we tend to lose people that were in a different version of our lives. Not because we want to and not because we should. It's because who we are trying to be and who we're becoming, sometimes that season for that person has run away. And what a lot of people tend to do is they tend to hold on to the friend they once had before the evolution. And sometimes when you do that, you end up getting your heart broken because they don't end up being the people that you see them to be, once before. I hope I'm explaining that right. But yeah, so me and my husband just had this conversation. Like, it's crazy, but I kind of see it there. I do. I see it as like these are two people, and I think the evolution that they both are coming across or headbutting against is fame. I think that that's really what it is. Your best friend should be the first one at your birthday party, possibly even helping you get ready. Portia should have been planning the party.
I've actually
Yes.
used not attending a birthday party as a way to send a message to a friend that I felt like I grew apart from, but didn't want to, like, have confrontation or disrupt anything.
Hmm.
Sometimes I just feel like Shamia was sent signals. She did not pick up on them. But then looking at how they're going back and forth in today's time online, y'all been having beef. So what's the point in arguing?
They've been having beef over the circumstances of, like, semantics. This one said this about me. This one he wasn't here for me. It's like it all reverts back to 2016. Like Phaedra said, that happened a long time ago. Why are we
I
still talking about
guarantee you, Miss Diane is probably at the root of all of this somehow.
it? Me too. I agree.
I feel like it
I
started
agree.
around that wedding. I feel like Miss Diane probably threw a fit if she would have been left alone while Portia went to Africa with all their good friends and family, because they say that the mom was friends with the mom, so they probably got mutuals. Miss Diane's at the root of all of it. What they
I,
say, what's that meme with Todd? It's a scheme that Todd set up that's going
it's a scheme that Miss Diane is cooking up to keep the show going. Yeah, absolutely. They need to
there.
make that. But anyways, y'all, we're gonna move on. We bring the men out, and we have these pleasantries with Dennis and asking if him and Portia gonna get back together. He said Portia's single now. We know we might. And I'm looking at him like, yeah, okay. We then talk about this situation with Drew and the text messages and how, Drew had so Ralph, because Ralph is sitting on stage saying that, Dennis did try to holler at her or something to that extent. And there's text message that Portia saw that kind of alluded to the same thing. And here's my thing. Do I believe that there was some sort of, mixed up of pleasantries of, wanting to hook up or wanting to, shoot the shot? Yes. I told you. I do feel like it was on Dennis's side. I don't feel like it was on Drew's. Because I feel like Drew wouldn't give Dennis the time of day. But I do feel like there was some probably flirtationist spirit there somewhere. I just feel like that. Just based on what we've seen of Dennis in the blogs, how Dennis portrays himself on the show, cheating, tattoos of numerous women. I do feel like Drew would be no exception Sorry. I sorry. I don't believe it was all just business. I believe there was some flirtation there as well. Um, I don't. I do believe that. I don't believe that Drew told Ralph that. I believe that that was probably a conversation between Dennis and Ralph that probably went left, and I feel like the same text messages were showed to Dennis as it was Portia. And that's what I'm saying. If it was, I believe it was on Dennis's side as well. I don't believe it was on Drew's side. I just don't. Mrs. Best, do you believe that it could have been on Drew's side if there was any type of maybe at the most flirtation?
I think that Drew is a person that dates based on what she sees. She's a visual dater. And if she sees Dennis, I don't think that that's somebody that she would really mess with like that. But I also don't think too many of the legit producers in Atlanta took Drew seriously as a musician. And I also don't think she could afford them. So I think that's why she worked with Dennis. I don't think it was nothing more. Dennis, though, he got about 47 hoes tattooed on his body. I don't
Mm.
put it past him.
That's what I said. I could see it being on. I can't see it on Drew's side. But I can definitely see it on Dennis's side. Um, that's pretty much all they talked about.
They
We
really think
just
this is why Portia don't think that she a flop because she's been involved in a lot of conversations, but at the root of it, it's all just frivolous fuckery. I
right.
like like this reunion was terrible.
It was. I'm gonna move over to Charles Oakley because this shit cracked me up. Um, that just bothered me. That just bothered me. How desperate for a rich man do you have to be where you would go and lick the names of the women he has tattooed on his body? I mean, I don't even think puppies are that advantageous. Like,
I just like people to know I am the only name tattooed on my husband's body aside from his mama. That's how it should be. You shouldn't be getting with
that
people and
household,
finding seven different names. What's that DMX song where he said all them names of them girls? That's Dennis's back. I just cannot.
let me tell you something. In the Jackson household, neither me or the Mister have tattoos of anything. So we don't keep it that way. Exactly. But
Oh
anyways,
Lord.
we go over Charles Oakley, which was my favorite part of the whole thing, because Charles Oakley was the best. So, Andy asked, directly, thank you for coming on the show. And he goes, it seems like a lot of people were putting in perspective that you may not, like Angela or anything based on how you were treating her. And he just pretty much said, I'm just not the lovey dovey type. I'm just not the person that's going to put on for a camera. It's just not me. That's not how I am. And I said, and I could understand it to some extent because some men aren't lovey dovey, especially in his time growing. Like, men that are from Charles Oakley's time, they weren't with the affection. Like, even still, it's still a struggle for black men to be, with the affection. You have some that are very affectionate, and you just have some that are not. It's very hard to find that in between stages. So I appreciate him not faking it for the camera, but there's still some conversations you had, Mr. Oakley, that just was not pleasant to watch. Just saying. And, if you was gonna allow her to be on TV like this, you know, and it comes up in conversation about, Phaedra knowing him, Shamia knowing him. And Charles Oakley said, I don't know no Shamia and I don't know no Phaedra. And Shamia said, oh no, we do know each other, Charles. You remember we was at such and such wedding and stuff, and me and my husband, and he goes, I was at the wedding, but that don't mean we met. And I was like, you better tell.
That's right, Charles.
Using that one. Just because I was there, yeah, I was there, but that don't mean we met. Because he's right. Like to me, it was funny because Bravo was trying to show receipts of Shamia's point, but that didn't prove anything to me. I'm sorry. I was with Charles on that one. And when it came to Phaedra asked, go say, well, Charles, I'm in several rooms that you were in. He goes, yeah, we may be in the same room, but I don't mean I met you. That don't mean I know you. And she goes, well, I've been around, some people you've been acquainted with, Sheree, you and her used to be together. And so Andy said, well, when were you and Sheree together? Me and Sheree were together from 2005 to 2007. Now keep in mind, Phaedra didn't get on Real Housewives of Atlanta until 2010, 2011. So did you know Sheree before Real Housewives of Atlanta? Because I doubt it. I mean, well, she knew Bob. So, I mean, would that mean she knew Phaedra then?
Here's the thing. Charles made a point that I love. And I've done this to people and they've gotten mad about it and told me I was a bitch. Just because we attend the same event, my nigga, do not mean that we know each other. Do not mean that we met. You could be in the same room with a lot of people. That doesn't mean that you've been able to meet. You might have seen each other there, but that doesn't mean that you officially met or spoke. I feel like Charles is not, he's one of them celebrities who is not with the elitist bullshit that is in today's time that it requires to be famous. He know what he got. He's not worried about it. He said, I don't know you people and I'm not going to pretend like I do because we was at some uppity event together. So I loved Charles for that. But I feel like we would be more accepting of Charles and less like into his marriage with Angela if she wasn't one so desperate while on camera. And then two, if Charles Oakley and Angela were around some castmates that were similar in age and behavior. Not 40-year-olds like Portia, the other kind. Just saying.
I was going to say, because she's around the same age as most of them.
And that's that, but these ones, the way that they behave, I don't know, these housewives kind of give love and hip hop a little bit. They energy. Angela doesn't give that. She doesn't. So I don't really care for really any of them. Actually, that's kind of bad.
No, but wait, he said that I'm the only husband that showed up. Where are y'all husbands? And it was Portia that said, I don't know where my husband is. I was like, God damn it. Let me turn off this damn TV because I was hollering. I said, wait, y'all is crazy. And I think Andy did ask Shabir, where is Gerald at? And she said, he's at home with our children. And he goes, well, he had an invite to come. And she goes, yeah, but this is not his environment.
Why do they do that? I don't like that they do this on Housewives. She's made it very clear that he don't want to be a part of it. She said it in confessional. She said it at events. She's made it very clear her husband doesn't want to be a part of it. So if the man don't want to be a part of it, why the fuck they keep asking her about it? Y'all know where he at. Away.
I guess they want her answer to be different. I guess they want her answer to be, he doesn't support me or something like that. I don't know. It just is weird that they asked her that question because it was like, y'all know he's not here. Like, y'all
And the
had.
housewives across the board that have had husbands that just like did not and do not show up. So
Well,
why
they
is
let this.
Gerald not showing up a big deal?
Well, it's because here's the thing. Let this be for her. Like, he doesn't, like, he can appear on camera every now and then. This is fine. At times, I did see an issue with it. That's what I saw an issue with it is when the baby had the doctor's appointment. That was the only time I really saw an issue with him not being on camera. Because if Shamia was going to film this, and this is the doctor appointment for the baby, you needed to suck your pride up and come and not be on FaceTime. That was the only time I had an issue with Gerald was when the baby had the doctor's appointment. Because I felt like, no, you need to be there. Especially when the baby got her tonsils pulled or whatever it was that she was getting pulled. And the second baby, her, unfortunate health issues. I feel like we needed to see him on camera. That was the only issue I had with Gerald. Other than that, I didn't care if he didn't show up to events and stuff. That wasn't really my thing. It's just show up for the babies. But is there anything I'm missing with Charles Oakley? He didn't got it on Phaedra. Phaedra tried to pity pat and lie, talking about she knew when he was with Sheree, and it was kind of like, girl, come on now. Hell, had it not been for this season, I would have never known Charles Oakley and Sheree were together.
That's actually true. That's a good point. That's
Yeah, like
actually true.
Sheree wasn't prying around talking about she was with some Charles Oakley.
They so
Always,
busy trying to expose each other and they and each other's husbands. They not giving nothing though. I'm
right.
mm.
So, is there anything I'm missing? What else am I missing? I know I'm missing something. That was pretty much it. Like they didn't really talk about much. Like they didn't. They talk about much. Like they could have kept this third part. I feel like I'm missing something I need to bring up.
I said they didn't need three parts.
What you say, Shane? When he said we could have been in the same bathroom, I still don't know you. I was trying. When I tell you, Charles Oakley had me on the floor rolling because he just listened. He shut it down like he needed to be on camera. I need to see Charles Oakley more next season.
He
I
said, nothing y'all bitches say is gonna make me say that I knew any of you hoes. I love it.
mm-hmm. I loved it as well. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end this with because they didn't talk about much. They didn't really discuss it. It was so bad. This was a horrible season, y'all. I give this season my rating, and this season gets an F. This
Ralph
was
and Drew need to stop playing. They can go.
yes. At this point, all of them really can go. Like only person I'm keeping Angela. I might keep Kelly. I'm getting rid of Portia, Phaedra,
The
Shamia,
OGs need
and
to go. Anybody that was around in the old era needs to go, including Cynthia and that damn wig.
but we know that's not gonna happen. We know they're gonna be
I
back
don't know
home.
why they won't let it go because the people you listed, like Kelly's interesting, Angela's interesting, her husband's a hoot. But like the Drew and Ralph thing, I need production to pay the fee and bring up the paperwork because Drew said that we could all find it and that is public, but nobody seems to have located this court document. So I just,
I don't feel like paying the fee for it. I just don't. And somebody else pay the fee, and I'll read it on my channel. But we know that they're back filming. They're gonna be back filming in a couple of weeks. There is rumor that K Michelle is joining the show. I am so curious to see how that's gonna go. For
Jesus
the
help us.
Lord, Jesus be offense. I wonder who's going to be her introduction to the show. If I had to guess who's going to be her introduction to the show, I'm either going to go with Phaedra or Drew. Because I don't see Angela doing it. I don't see Portia doing it. I don't know if Shami is coming back or not. I don't know.
She took the peach and the pen thing of her getting her peach out of her bio and then posted a weird apology. So I don't know if Shami is coming back.
We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. You didn't hear about this, Naya? You didn't hear about K Michelle joining Real Housewives of Atlanta allegedly?
And Pinky
I don't know the other young lady, but I know K
is
Michelle.
the vegan owner.
Oh, the Slutty
HBT.
Vegan one?
Mm-hmm.
That's who I thought I knew her from somewhere. I just couldn't think of where I knew her from. Did she tell Ralph you came out here with your white and your Beijing? Yes, she sure did. But Ralph always does that. That's why I felt like that wasn't new.
He
I'm not
loves the camera. It's cringy to
does. Like
watch.
he loves. I think he loves being like me. Like if I was on reality TV, I would love it too. I promise you I would.
I don't think he knows he don't have no fans.
Girl, there's somebody thirsty enough that goes like Ralph. I'm sorry. There's always some thirsty birds out there, like with Martell. Hope. Always gonna be some thirsty ass birds out there that's gonna like
He
them.
does give Martell energy. That's terrible. Mm.
Yeah. Shut the front door. Will these ladies be able to handle K Michelle in her mouth? No, but that's going to be. I think that's why it's going to be funny. I can definitely see K Michelle getting into it with Portia. I can definitely see K Michelle getting into it with Angela, and I can also see her getting into it with Kelly. I can see it. I can see it
I
very
feel
clearly.
like K Michelle would handle Portia correctly because I'm just thinking of the she's shaking the table. She she will laugh at you if you do too much. She might be perfect for this show, especially with how she's changed since Love and Hip Hop.
Mm, I don't know. Seeing her on Queen's Court made me feel like it's still up in there. Kelly and Kay will tickle me because they both loud and they
And
both
small.
small. So I think that would be a better match. But I don't know. I just see her being. I see her getting into it with a lot of them. I just don't see her getting along with any.
Mm.
I just don't see it. And I could be wrong. And and she might get along with everybody. I don't know. But I just based on what I saw on Queen's Court, because that was the last show I've seen her on, that was more recent. I just don't see her being like with these women the pillar of friends and support. I just see it being she gonna get rubbed the wrong way by one. She gonna, try to confront another one about husbands, and then gonna confront this one about this. I just see her just kind of making us skeptical of everything. So we'll see how that works. But that was Real Housewives of Atlanta. I am done with this show. I can take it off of my roster finally. Y'all, it was a lot. It was a lot not to be desired, but to be forsaken. Because I tell you, I cannot stand this. I hated every part of these episodes. This was so crazy. Ugh. But we made it through, y'all. We made it through. Thank you for everybody who has been here from episode 1 to episode now. I appreciate it. Yes, I will be reviewing Real Housewives of Atlanta when it decides to come back for season 17. This will be my last video for this week. I don't know if I'll pick up next week with it because I will be having surgery on Wednesday. So we'll see what happens from my recovery, if I'm going to be strong enough to do a video. I won't be home, so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, we'll see, y'all. I can't promise you guys, but keep me uplifted in prayer. Thank you, Mrs. Best, for being here, and I will see you guys soon. I don't post on IG that often, y'all. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to get better, but I fail every day. But that's okay. We'll live to fight another one. Thank you so much for you guys for being here. I don't know. You guys, I don't know if I will be with Mrs. Best tomorrow for Basketball Wives. I will let her know. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I have not been taking the idea of me having surgery well. I have been emotional, which is why I've not been on YouTube for the last few days. It has been an emotional ride for me. So I don't know if I will be joining her. Me and her have talked about it. She completely understands, and we'll try. I definitely will try for you guys. I'll try. I can't promise you guys, but I'll try. But thank you so much, you guys, for once again being here. And I hate when YouTube does that. Hopefully the notifications, but thank you, Mrs. Best, for being here, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.